Welcome to the Eyes of the Panthers, the show where the Panthers fans call it how it is. I'm joined here by Zak, David, and Chris, and today we're breaking down the dust-ups we've just had with Manchester Storm and the miserable Sheffield Steelers. Grab your pint, settle in, and let's talk Nottingham hockey. So I think we should start with Manchester. We'll start on a good note, shall we, boys?
Yeah. I just want to point out, solid prediction from me, 3-1. Just it was kind of what we needed, a battle in that tight rink, hoping to build a bit of momentum, and I think we did. Quite a well-controlled game. Carr kept us in it for periods, but yeah, good defensive effort, which we needed. Rather than it's the kind of place where you do need to play 3 solid periods to take away points. So it was good to see. Whereas previously we've had maybe 2 good periods, 1 bad period. It was very positive.
Yeah, I feel like it was definitely the energy we kind of needed to up the team, because I think after the 2 losses, the morale would have been quite low. But a win, especially away or home for Manchester, at Manchester home, that must be somewhat of a positive for the guys to think, we're not Fife, we're not last season Fife, we're the Panthers. They definitely, because I'm looking at the stats now, we had 60 shots to their 51, so the volume was there again. 41 of those shots were on goal, so again, it's there. We've got we're playing well. There's another one. Shot efficiency. So we had 7.32%, which is it's better than theirs. It's quite high. We didn't have many power plays because, well, the refs was that the game where the refs weren't 2 on our side?
They kept giving them a load. I remember that they had a few sloppy ones that were good against us.
Yeah.
And just count us offsides, it was just never offside. It was even both teams said they were never offside.
Oh,
it was just one of them sort of games.
It's coming back to me now. It was all the fog.
Yeah.
Every other play was offside.
No, to give it to him, it was very difficult to see. I sympathise with the linesman. It would have been very difficult to see the puck on that blue line. There were a few where, I think there was one in particular where Zek masterfully held it on the blue line just over the paint, and he was furious when it was called down. But what can you do?
Yeah. In that kind of situation, as a player, you've kind of maybe even got to exaggerate that you're not offsides. Play with that bit more exaggeration, because they're not going to be able to see it in that fog. I'll give it to them. That it was bad. Trying to watch it on the stream, it was comical.
I mean, I think the one thing to say about that is, I know Manchester are getting their own arena. They're getting quite a decent sized arenas coming up, being built. But man, that Planet Ice Altrincham is just a crappy arena. So bad. How are you getting fucked? Top league. You'd never get that top league. It's crazy.
It's an old school feel for sure.
Yeah, I mean, true, it had that old school feel, but watching the both teams do a family skate to clear the fog was just like, what are we doing here?
Luca got some time.
True,
yeah,
Luca got some nice time. Important.
About a minute of it, yeah. Yeah, I bet he loved that.
All adds up. It might be most amount he gets all year, but we love that for him.
But no, talking about goalies, Kevin. Is it Kevin? It is Kevin Carr, isn't it? Yeah.
Kevin Carr, yeah.
Yeah, he did pretty good that game.
He had a storm, to be fair. After that goal was 12 seconds, they never looked like beating him, to be fair. He just kept epping out.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, because they scored within 11 seconds, didn't they?
Yeah. It was like 11 seconds, but then which in that rink is easy to do because it's 2 strides and hitting the boards. But considering the amount of shots had on him, I thought had a really solid game, to be fair. I mean, he's in the 90s, so that's impossible.
96.7% he had.
Oh, cracking. It's good to
see.
see.
Very good.
Yeah, they scored what? Obviously, yeah, because they had 50 shots. They scored one. It was almost a shutout.
Can't ask much else, can you? Really? I mean, it was a 50-odd minute shutout, so.
Yeah, a bit early for one.
I think a real positive standout from that game was the penalty kill for us. Seemed really dialed in. We just didn't give him any space. I was at work, so I didn't watch the full game, but the bits I did watch, we seemed to be on one seemed to be on the penalty kill a fair bit, but our penalty kill looked really good. We just seemed to trap him in a corner, passing between two guys, just didn't let him get any momentum on it, and it was really, really good. And I think I said in the chat, like Kelsall was just phenomenal in that. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, standout player in that game. I think Kelsall and Pearson were pretty much out on the ice to finish the game.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Kelsall. He is just that consistent player. You never really hear people say bad things about him too often. He's just jack of all trades, just good all around and consistent. I wouldn't mind getting him for my fantasy league player.
Yeah,
I think he does pretty well on the plus minus.
Yeah, just to get some points.
You need it. You need it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, when we get to it later on in the episode, people will understand that I definitely need points. But no, overall, I think the game it went really well. We won. That's points. That's it. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think how all the games have been recently, a win will take.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be a good. Doesn't have to be. We'll take a win.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking. I didn't need a good win. Just a win any way it comes. I think it's good for the lads and build from that really.
Yeah, which brings us on to the next one. A sore topic, which it's ironic because we were then saying that win would then boost the guys' morale, it'd change everything. That would be the turning point.
Don't use my words against me.
It looked like it was. That first.
It really did.
Was really good. Yeah, they didn't score. It was we were the only ones to score in the first, and it was a quick goal. It was winning in the first minute.
First game we've scored the first goal as well, which I was hoping to see perhaps a defensive build from there. But I think Steelers they handled the game much like we handled our games against the Steelers last season. Play a defensive game and just wait for them to make a mistake, and they did that really well. I think after we scored, they looked quite nervous for the rest of the period. I think we shook them up a little bit, but fair play to them. They managed the game very well.
It took the momentum behind the power play of the intermission because we took penalty in 1945. So obviously, they had 15 seconds of power play, and then they got, we've got the whole intermission to win this power play out, and then obviously they scored off that, and then the game started to change a bit. Then, in my opinion,
it was
because the first bit I thought we were a bit solid, but as soon as they scored, we started with the nerves started to come in. Then you can see the players' nerves started to come in because I felt after the end of the second period, it was 31 shots to 15 towards the end of the second period. So we was battering him for 40 minutes. So it's just a shame the way it ended at the end.
And this is how it went last year with the Steelers. They always used to seem to, per period, almost double our shots, but it just didn't equate to the goals with our defensive play on Grande. But it just seems to have taken a bit of a reversal this year.
Yeah, Harper did them wonders. Nearly got a hat trick for the Steelers. And I think it was just from that one goal, the Steelers kind of then just got momentum with it. And I think the issue that we may have had with having such a new team, I don't think they understand potentially how big of a game that was. Or they may have really overestimated and the emotions got hold of them on how big of a game it was.
They've got enough players back that they should know, in my opinion. Because, we bought 6% of the team back, so the rest of the team should say that this is the game, sort of thing.
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
Which is where, this whole that start of season has been a bit iffy for me, because we've bought enough players back to know you've got to go from the start.
Yeah.
And it's some of the regular players that are not performing as much as what we hoped they would at start, in my opinion.
But no, we what was it? It was a stat. Yeah, that was what I wanted to bring up. Face-offs. Now, we're doing much better, obviously, and it's continuing. But we didn't get more face-off. We didn't win more face-offs in both games. I think Storm. We won 30 to their 43, which 13 face-off. Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's still substantial. But I mean, we won anyway, so I don't care about that. But the face-offs for the Steelers, we only lost 3 of them, and I'm pretty certain the Steelers were quite strong on their face-offs with us last season. So again, that's
the ones
another...
they won though were the more important ones. It was like all the ones in our zone they kept winning. So like, we'd win like all the neutral zone ones, but the ones that we had to win, we didn't win. So like it just puts pressure on yourself again. Like obviously, if you win it in their zone, it's better than winning in you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
What I want to say about face-offs, and it was very prevalent in that game. Pearson is good in the dart, but we tend to line him up against their best their line one. So he's going up against one of the better face-off people. What do you call it? And he tends to get 50%, maybe a bit higher. But then you've got Lemos, who I think he wins the vast majority of his face-offs, and he's going against line 2, line 3. So having Pearson taking on their consistent winner just gives Lemos that ability to go against their not so prevalent winners and get us quite a bit of possession from that.
I think you've got to remember as well, Robert Dowd is an incredible face. Robert Dowd for a long time has been great in the dot. And he's going to be going against your third and fourth line face-off guys. So if he's going against, no offense to Kelsel's, we talked about we love Kelsel, but Robert Dowd is going to be taking a lot from our lower guys when it comes to the face-off dot. So the fact we were so close, I think I'll take it. But
yeah, definitely. It was only 3, but it was 3 that mattered.
Yeah.
Going on about our first goal, what a goal that was!
Beautiful.
He drew
the patience of Vulcan.
Yeah, he drew it in, and he just stepped round and just put it in.
Waited for the Steeler defenseman to commit, took it round him, passed in. Marson knew that's the kind of goal, his bread and butter. He's going to put that in.
It's a bit of a hockey player of the day. It's like we got the breakaway and then the defender's stuck there because you take the back post or you take the front post for the front guy. So like either way, the defender's stranded at that point. So that's a perfect goal. And we tried it a few times in the game. They just pointed a defender back after that. If this always made sure there was 2 back. So we couldn't be him and break as much as what we tried in the first period, which I think didn't help us the game.
Well, I think that's the way you beat Greenfield as well, because Greenfield he's the best goalie in the league. Like his glove hand is just incredible. He doesn't give up rebounds. You get no second chances from him. The best way to do it is to maneuver him out of position, is to drag him across his crease. It's the best way to score against him. And that's the one we scored. And we almost scored a couple other times with similar moves. But yeah, it's so difficult to play the Steelers when they have Greenfield in goal because they just get no second chances. And I noticed a lot of our goals have been scored against us have all been rebounds because Grande's brilliant. He is brilliant in that. And I think we let him down in that game. But yeah, his rebound control, and Kevin Carr, I think, has a similar problem. His rebound control isn't always the best, and oftentimes it just pops out.
And last season, they reacted all the time because last season there was always there to react, where this season they're just not as sharp, I found, so far. There's just been a few times where like sitting off the player, like defending normally, so they don't have the time to shoot, or they're just not, or they're just second that puck every time. And that's where the goals have been coming in the last couple of games.
I think it was their second goal was quite, or might have been their third, but it was a very telegraphed goal. You knew the shot was coming. It took a rebound. Not sure if it was off Grande or one of the D men, but it came off to the right hand side of Grande, and all our back checkers and defensemen were all just kind of bunched up in front of him. And there was no one there to take that rebound. And I can't remember who it was who slotted it in, but it was just a bit of a freebie for him.
I think it was Harper again.
Yeah, I think that was Harper's second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 27 minutes.
Because we was really compact at the moment, because they're like 4 or 5 players in front of our goal, so Grandy couldn't see a thing either. Because our team needs to mark ourselves in that goal, because I remember being very annoyed at the Arena about it. But it just happened a few times, especially like last week against Guildford, where the 2 defenders was really narrow. But then like we sucked our own team in as well in that process. Which, but obviously if you've got 5 players in front of the goal, he's also not going to see a thing. So he can't exactly react to obviously hold the puck as well, which gives up more rebounds and then more goals in the process. So it's just like we need to just work on the defensive structures a little bit, just to like be a bit more spread out, a bit more engaged on the players instead of saying back further back.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a tough game, tough loss as well, especially with the start we had. It looked so promising, and again, I think we've said this. I say every episode. It's only the second one, but every time we've spoken about it, it's always we are playing goods. It's just when we make a mistake, they capitalize on it straight away, and it's a goal. It will almost like 9 times out of 10 end in a goal against us. And I mean, I feel like it's a bit harsh to say I want my team to play 100% perfectly every single game, because that's not realistic. So, but it kind of feels like that's what we need to stop losing.
I just think our mistakes are compounding. So was it God, who made that terrible pass up the middle?
What was it off the middle? I remember a terrible pass up the board by Doherty that got
Was it Doherty? Yeah, that one that led to that ticky-tacky goal, which was actually a really great goal, annoyingly. But he made, before that, we've made a few little mistakes, but that was the first big mistake that led to a goal. And as soon as that happened, we just seemed to everyone broke down and was making mistakes. There were just bad passes across the board. It seems like it's like a virus that just spreads through the team. As soon as that one big mistake gets made, everyone starts doing the same, and we just kind of break down. And I know we said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. We need Matt Alfaro back. That calm, consistent presence. I know he can get a bit feisty sometimes, but that consistent presence of our team, I think it just helps keep everyone level, and will bring everyone. It's just easy, and especially with him being in the game as well, just needs to go. We've got this. We can do this, and it puts him in the face-off circle as well, which is even better for a face-off percentage.
Captain for the reason, end of the day.
Yeah,
we captain, and I'm really missing that leadership on the ice at the moment. But I know we've got the A's, but there's no one that's really like taking over, saying like, let's do this, like let's reset type thing. We just seem to be like if it goes wrong, it goes spectacularly wrong at the moment.
Yeah.
Do we know when Alfaro is back?
I heard October. Someone said October. That's just a guy. Yeah,
it's a long time renewal.
Yes, quite a few games. Yeah.
It just, for me, I think it speaks for our preparedness for this season that we seem to be focusing on the league very heavily, and maybe it's okay for your captain to be coming in October if you're not too fussed about the Challenge Cup. But you kind of, if you're losing too many games during the Challenge Cup, you kind of generate a culture of losing almost, and it gets in your head.
It was different round because last season was really good in the cup and then awful in the league for about a month. So, it might be the opposite, because the start last year probably cost us the league at the end of the day, because I think we won 2 out of 6, ridiculous at the start of the season. We were just awful. I think
it was 2 of 7. Terrible. And you can see the frustration on the boys. I think I was in block 15, so I'm behind that bench, and I saw Jean-Bort, Marcinu, and another player I can't remember, just fucking smashing stick. Oh, sorry, I swore. Smashing sticks all over the place and getting really, really frustrated about that game towards the end. So, I mean, they care. The boys care. They don't want to be rubbish.
He'll go back to the box because they say above 19. I just don't go absolutely nuts in the box at one point. So, it's obviously the players care. It's just there's just something that hasn't clicked at the moment. And I think once it clicks, that would be amazing. But it's just not clicking, and I don't really know what's not clicking at the moment.
I think we can be granted a swearing amnesty for viewing Steelers games. That sounds fair, doesn't it?
Is that okay? We all get one each. We get one each.
Yeah.
Whenever it's the Steelers games, I'll make sure to put in the bio or description, there is swearing.
Parental warning.
Win or lose, because if we win, I will be swearing as well.
Oh, yeah, of course. Excitement swearing, not angry swearing. But yeah, I've written a few points up which over my overview of both the games and how we or what we might need to fix or build upon. And I've put the top one, power play execution. Having power play chances doesn't matter if you can't convert. In both games, we had power plays and we didn't score. So we need to set up plays, have more traffic in front, and create shots because we're having a lot of shots. It's just slapping them.
I mean, one of my predictions, we just didn't do it with him because that many times that a player open, we find that player, and then they pass it straight back.
Yeah.
Where now and then, if they just hit one, stuff happens. We just kept finding a pivot pass time and time again, and they knew what we was doing at times. So they just.
I'm reminded of the Belfast commentator last year during the double header. I think we got shut out on the first game. Was it 2-0 or something? And then it was a good game, but it was 2-0, good defensive battle. And then in the second game, the commentator, I don't often agree with this Belfast commentator, but he said Panthers just appear to be still trying to score that perfect goal. And I thought that just sums it up completely.
Nail on the head there, and it's still to this day, yeah. When it doesn't matter if it's a messy goal, a goal is a goal, and if we've lost this amount of games, just get a goal.
Yeah, and that's how you change momentum. Sheffield's first goal was a right greasy little, just poked it between his, Grande made the save, poked it between his legs and tipped it. Like it wasn't a great goal. Their third goal was phenomenal, but that first goal, but it's a goal, gets you on the board. That's what matters.
Just a point
really
on their first goal though. I'm a bit miffed that we didn't challenge that. It wasn't no contact with the puck. It was effectively a slash into Grande's pads, and it just forced the puck out behind him and into the goal. Grande didn't seem bothered. It's just something about his body language. Whether he's just too nervous. It's just there wasn't the fire to argue about it. But you look on the replay, the puck's not visible. It's a wrap on the pads, and then it just comes out behind him.
Yeah.
Where ours are disallowed, Greenfield is going absolutely mental, if you notice. So that just sort of gives you a bit more leeway and stuff. If you've got us going nuts, you know what's happened.
Yeah. And if we had a challenge,
if he's been contacted, then obviously we're not going to challenge. Where if he's shown that he knows something's happened, then we might challenge.
And I mean, you can't tell the story of the game. You don't know what's going to happen ahead of you. But a challenge of that first Steelers goal, even if it was not successful, there's no way they would have called off the Greenfield challenge. It was a similar sort of stick contact. By the book, you can call it off, but it was the same with Grande. Challenge that, and the precedent set.
Yeah, do you reckon that might be because he's quite young, isn't he, Grande?
25, I think.
25. Do you reckon it could be something with the age where he's not got the because Greenfield's in his 30s or something? Maybe.
I believe so.
So maybe it might his age might play on that. I'm not sure.
He just seems quite shy in general. That Granite does. Like whenever the videos of he just seems to be a quite quiet guy anyway. So I don't know if he's just he doesn't like to be. I don't know if he's always just in his own zone on the ice, or if he's just apparently like that type of thing.
Yeah.
So he might not want to be the one that protests as much.
Yeah, that could just be his personality. Yeah, like you just said. But this brings me on to my next point: goalie stability and support. So against the Steelers, the goalie Grande letting goals that probably could have been prevented if the defensive line was a bit tighter, limiting to the high danger challenges. And again, Grande, once that one goal went in, he then just I don't know if it was just him. Well, it wasn't just him. It was the D-man as well. But he kind of just turned off. They just kind of went to sleep, which is what allowed the second, third, and the fourth goal.
It's the exact same as last week. The exact same as last week, in my opinion. It's the defense switched off, and then they scored loads of goals in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Especially last week, they scored one and then they scored four, and it's well, how's that happened, sort of thing.
Yeah. And I think that's then Grande's morale just is whatever.
I've got to say, goal for goal, first goal. I want to see you angry about it. You've been slashed. It's come out the back of you. You need to be challenging that. Second goal, that was the rebound, I believe, wasn't it? Rebound. No defenseman covering it. It's Grande couldn't really see it, so I don't really blame him for the rebound. You've got to make that first save. That's more on the D for not covering that. All three of them stood in front of him. Someone needed to be covering the angles. After that, I think it was the third one was that terrible pass up the boards, tic-tac-toe. You've got to commit to someone. You've got to commit to who you think is going to shoot, and you can't blame him for that. The last goal, I think that was Morale. It's not a goal that you'd normally see Grande let in. It was over. It was an acute angle over the opposite shoulder, I think it was, and he just body language down for that. But I think a lot better from Grande in that game. Me and Amandine were both commenting that he looked a lot more up for it throughout periods of the game. The last period, it perhaps slipped a little bit, but it's good to see his confidence building.
Yeah, which is it is good, and hopefully it just.
I felt the same. I felt the same about that goal, the one that Jasper scored.
Yeah.
Normally, I was like, he would save that, but I think it was just one of those ones where another high danger chance being taken at him. And although Chase cut off the passing lane, so it was just like a one-on-one with the goalie, and he normally saves that. I think it was just one of them ones where, you do. Maybe he was just sat there thinking, Jesus Christ, not again, not again. And it's sad if the morale is low. And I know the morale is low with the fans. You could tell at the end, everyone was just a bit, what's happening? No one can really break it down in the moment, but
no.
it's I think morale's terrible at the moment for everyone.
Yeah. And then third point, I'll try and speed it up because we've still got another 2 points after this. Third point, shot quality over quantity. The volume of shots is amazing. It's great. And I think in the podcast I did before, I said, I don't care about quality, I want quantity. But I'm now going to kind of contradict that a little bit and say, I don't mind quantity, but I would like some quality.
I think you need that against Greenfield. Your Greenfields, your Owens, and quite often your Wenigers as well. You need that. We'll often criticise the Panthers for overpassing the puck, but against Greenfield, you've got to do it. You've got to score those pretty goals. You're not going to score with blasts from the blue line unless you've got people to crowd for the rebound.
Yeah, we saw
which he doesn't give.
It doesn't work.
You need screens in front. You need screens in front.
Screens. That's the trick.
We saw Ombre. I think it was Lamos flew across Matt Greenfield for a screen on Cooper's X shot, and Greenfield still saved it. And I was just like, how did he save that? That was just like a perfectly executed. We didn't bloody score, but Lamos just came flying across in front of him to take his eyes as the shot came in, and I was like, yes, and then he managed to save it. He's a magician, and he annoys the life out of me. I hate him. He's so good. I hate him.
Far
and he plays for Sheffield.
Yeah. I don't like to admit this, but he is the netminder to beat. He really is. Bednard, I think, would have come close if he managed a full season. Grande is a very good netminder, but he's very good at specific things. Whereas with Greenfield, you've got that complete player.
Yeah. But like you say, Grande's still young. He's still a lot of time to grow, and he's still a phenomenal goalie. And he couldn't, by the end of this season, more than be up to the task. Maybe he's a slow builder. Maybe he needs a couple more games under him to get that fire burning.
And this is why I'm quite happy we've got an experienced backup to mentor him as well in Carr. Yeah, I just hope a bit of that experience, a bit of that aggression kind of rubs off on him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Carr's got aggression. Carr's definitely got aggression.
So then going on to the fourth point, the mental part of it. We scored first, and we gave them an edge, or giving us an edge, but then we lost the control in the second. I think it was the second period, which just unravelled it, and then they lost composure, which we've spoken about. So I'll skip straight over that one because we've mentioned about the mentalness and the morale of the team quite a lot already.
But it's captaincy. That's what we need. We need Alfaro.
We need Alfaro back. And then the fifth one, This one, I wrote. It was kind of just a whim, really, because you can't really predict this because the refs are on your side and against you, like a toss of a coin. I think sometimes they do go out back, toss a coin, and then make the decision off that sometimes. But the penalties and discipline, avoid getting penalties and stay out of the box, essentially. But yeah, you can't really. That's just how the refs are on the day.
For me, the
It
refs
was a
just
week.
aren't consistent.
Yeah.
They're just not.
It confuses your players. They don't know what they can do from one week to the next. It's very difficult to play with inconsistent.
From one period to the next.
But we're a league that don't invest in that side of the game. We have local referees refereeing their local games. You wouldn't dream of that in other sports. We don't have an academy, I don't believe. It's just
They have very little training, refs, and I know I give them a lot of stick, but they have very little training and they don't get the support that the NHL refs do. So we, as much as I hate to admit it, you have to give the refs some leeway because that's not
give them the benefit.
Yeah,
I just wish certain refs wouldn't travel on certain teams' buses.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
Not going to mention any names.
I try and give refs the benefit of the doubt for most things because the game's quick. You can't always see everything. That's why there's 4. That's why there's 2 linesmen, 2 refs. But you need that many people on to see what's going on. For me, it's just consistency. If you're going to call something, call it. If you decide that that's a penalty, just call it. And if you don't, that's fine because then guys know where they're sat. Like, if you allow a little bit of slashing and this and that going on, that's cool. That's great. Guys know where the line is then to draw from. But like with Foss, he got pulled down by the face from behind.
Way, like constantly.
Yeah.
When they'll call it once and then they won't call it again. Then they'll call it again, and it just gets messy. Like if we're gonna do it, then let the players police again, or call stuff. It's one or the other.
I think there's a certain desire in EIHL refereeing to sort of offset the game. They kind of think, oh, we've given a few penalties to the Steelers, so I'll be on the lookout. We'll try and balance this out a little bit. I think they kind of overcompensate for that. Almost, I don't want to call it incompetence because, like we say, they're not given much help along. Really, they're not trained properly. But they kind of make up for it by trying to offset games. And when you're playing Cardiffs, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, we get light little penalties when they get away with absolute murder for some things. I hate offsetting things because that's not how the game of life works. It's not how life works. You can't go, well, you've had a lot, so we're going to take away from you and give to it. Just doesn't work that way. It's just call it down the middle. Just if it's a penalty, it's a penalty. If it's not, it's not. If you're going to give them leeway, give the leeway, but set your marker down of where it's going to be and stick to it. And I know it's hard. I'm not a referee. I'm a terrible skater. So, I try not to judge refs too hard, but I did think the refs were pretty bad in that game. I do think they were pretty bad.
So, moving on again, the table standings. I'll go through that quickly because, it hasn't really changed too much. We've got Steelers in first with 7 points. The Devils in second with 6 points. Coventry in third with 6 points also. Storm fourth with 4 points. We're now fifth with 2 points. And Guildford is sixth with 2 points. And then in the other bracket, you've got Dundee Stars first with 7. Clan with 6. Giants with 4. And it pains me, but Fife with 2 in bottom.
Dundee's a massive shock though, because they beat Belfast twice now, and you will never call that start this season. They would have beaten Belfast twice in 2 games.
They beat
and they virtually battered at home as well. So
I think
they're looking decent little side at the moment.
I think it was 4-1. I think in one of the games. Or it got to at least 4-1 before Belfast.
5-2 on Sunday. I think it was 7-4 away. So they're doing really well considering like what Dundee normally are.
They're definitely a team and a locker room that I think have eyed up this particular competition. They're not a team that can afford to keep up longevity of the season. They get a few injuries. It's very difficult to replace those guys. So a competition that's done,
Quite quickly.
you know, after Christmas, done quite quickly. It's a competition that Dundee, your Coventry's, they can really focus on. I think that's what we're seeing as well.
Yeah, and I like them. That Dundee team looks good, and I don't want to play them. I think when we play them, it's going to be a really tough game for us. Really, really tough game for us.
I was quite surprised they got hammered by Fife last week. That was quite a surprise result, because I think it was 4-0 at home to Fife last week, which is interesting. But
it's a funny time of the season, though. Teams are still figuring each other out, and certain chemistries work. And yeah, it's a funny season.
Well, Manchester almost came back and beat Sheffield, which I think they were gifted that goal at the end. They were gifted the power play at the end of that game. But yeah, Manchester did. You know, we beat them 3-1. I don't want to say convincingly, because there was obviously, I don't think it was super convincing, but we beat them. They almost comfortable enough. And yeah, they almost took, and I think they deserve that win against Sheffield. So I think the whole league at the moment is just up, down, left, right. I think you're going to see loads of teams win one. Like Cardiff have been on a tear, and then suddenly they lose to Coventry in quite a poor performance.
Well, Manchester are built to win in Manchester. They've built big at the back, strong players, very physical game. I think we did very well to go in there and come out with the victory. And it just shows how, I don't know, does it show how mixed up this part of the period of the season is, or does it just show how competitive teams are, that we beat them in their barn, and then they go and nearly beat Sheffield, who beat us in our barn? You know, it's looking good from a league perspective.
I want to see.
From a league, yeah, interesting.
It's like I want to see like Belfast go into Manchester and lose, and then we have like a strike at 5 or whatever, because it just makes everything interesting.
Yeah.
But I was kind of thinking from our start in the Challenge Cup, we kind of needed Sheffield and Cardiff to win their games, and us try and get that third position. But I'm quite glad Coventry gave Cardiff the first beating of the season. So yeah.
Speaking about Cardiff, my partner's cousin's married to Ben Bounds.
Yeah.
So
really? Wow, that's cool.
So I'm going to get her to use her connections to get Ben Bounds to let some goals in.
You're sending him an envelope full of cash.
No, it's going to be an envelope with like magazine cuttings of letters. I have your dog.
Oh God.
Right, moving on again to the upcoming games. We've got Guildford and they're at home, and then Blaze away.
We've got Guildford away first on Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday Guildford in Guildford, Saturday Guildford in Nottingham, and then Sunday Coventry in Coventry.
Oh,
big week, busy week.
Yeah, I was looking at the EIHL and just...
Yeah, Wednesday's first league game. That's why it's not on the sheet.
Yeah, it won't be on the other sheet because it'll be. Yeah, I get confused by that all the time because they split it. CC and thing it. Yeah.
So it's Guildford.
Guildford.
Thoughts on that?
First league fixture of the season. I'm hoping the lads look at this as an opportunity to start from fresh.
Yes.
And just really focus on. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about the Challenge Cup. You don't have to worry about previous results. Worry about the night. Win it period to period.
Well, statement.
But I will say as well. No, I'll save this for later. Actually, for weird takes. Actually, just remind me. But yeah, it's a barn we struggle to play in. But similar to Manchester, we've kind of got that shock out the way. We got the shock out the way in pre-season with Manchester, but we've had one trip to Guildford, and they blitzkrieged us. They absolutely shocked us in that first period.
We must have had too much fun on the water slides.
The wave machine. It's all about the wave machine.
They did the wave machine. They were tired afterwards, and then they pulled themselves together. It happens to the best of us when you go to Guildford.
But I'm looking for a positive bounce back. Like I say, it's a fresh start with the league.
Yeah.
Who do you think they'll put in goal? Do you think they'll? Obviously, we played them away last week, and it was Carr in goal. Do you think they'll give Grande, although he's only played on the Saturday, they'll give Grande the nod on the away game, and then give him Carr the home game. I don't know how they're going to work it with both of them. It's going to be a weird one, how they're going to play them.
Especially at this period, the start of the season, you kind of need to work out who's give them the time to work out who's the hotter. I want Carr to start, to be honest. I know he had that really bad period last time, but he's up for redemption, and he played the rest of the game really well. And he
locked in, didn't he? As soon as he got that period, he locked in, and then they couldn't beat him. And it's in Manchester, he let the goal in, and then he didn't say nothing else.
Yeah.
So I think we're better trying to unhinge just to give Grado a kick with the arse a bit as well.
But it's interesting as well who Guildford play in net, because I believe they've got Berman and is it Fizio, the other guy? Berman played us last time and he was impressive, but Fizio doesn't seem to be having the same impact. So I don't know whether I think they played Berman in the last game, so it'd be interesting if they double him up. But we'll see on the night.
Yeah. Let's see. Play one Wednesday, one Saturday, just see if it makes any difference as well.
I think that's what I would.
That could be a good thing with you next week, is if we play, say, Grande Wednesday and Car Saturday, you can sort of compare both netmans a bit as well. So say they might want to skate.
Take that opportunity to do that, because is it the away one that it's a league game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd want Carr on the league game, because then it is a complete fresh start. He's not getting like a redemption from when we lost to him earlier in the cup. What's the cup? I think it was the cup. Yeah. So it's a completely new start. So now he could then go right. I'm going to take my swear word of the podcast. He could go right. Fuck you. Now I'm going to make you not get a goal. I'm going to get the shutout, and we're going to go. I'm not going to give my prediction up. I almost gave my prediction. My prediction's quite wild for these. But yeah, I think they should take this opportunity, because we're against the same team, to play both goalies each game, and then you'll find out who's kind of on the ball more. I don't want to say who's the better goalie or who's on the ball, who's more active, because they're both good. So you just need to figure out who's good now and not warming up still.
If one plays really well Wednesday, it puts the pressure on the one to play really well Saturday as well, so it pushes them both along.
Yeah, that's
because I think both of them, they're still fighting for number one status, because Carr can do it and Granite can do number one easy. So it's really like pushing each other on now, just like the season.
Yeah, because there's only one spot for the goalie of our team. You can't have two the goalies. So yeah, it's a competition between the two. I think it'd be fun to see who actually comes out on top of that.
But and this goes for both games. They're a team that are modelled very similarly to us. A lot of speed, very mobile defense, and quite light in the physical area. I think they have the shortest and lightest team in the league based on weight and height.
I know where I'm coming.
And it's I think now we've got a few more games behind us. We know with the physicality levels. I think we were very hesitant to touch them after that Cardiff game, and that kind of set us back in the first period. Just a nice bounce back in. I think that covers both games. I think it's definitely doable. We owed them a bit of revenge. They owed us revenge for knocking them out of the playoffs. They've had that. Let's have our revenge.
Okay. Let's go to it. Game predictions. Let's have it. Let me get it so I can type it all down. I'm gonna start with David. Game predictions for home and away.
I think Wednesday. I think we're gonna win. We want revenge in that building, and I think hopefully we get it. Score. I think it'd be closer. That they've got a good team. They've got a fast team. I'm gonna say 3-2 to us.
Okay, 3-2 on Wednesday, and then Thursday.
In our building, Saturday, yeah. In our building, I don't want to say we win every game, and I'm not going to say we win every game, but I think can and we should beat them in our home. And I think it will be that game will be when I start to really, really worry about this team. Is if we lose both games this week, but specifically if we lose that game at home against Guildford, is when I'll be very, very worried. Because away games are always different. There's travel, there's other bits, but being in your own barn and losing will be terrible. So I'm going to say we're going to win 4-1.
4-1. Okay, yeah, I like that. We can only hope. Zach?
Sunday.
Yeah, I was like doing it Sunday.
It's gone from Thursday to Saturday.
This is what Steelers games do to you. But yeah, just need David to
interacting with Steelers fans. Jesus.
I'm a professional. Right, go on, Zach.
I'm not doing Sunday, but Coventry Sunday.
Coventry Sunday. Sunday. It's Coventry, innit? Who cares?
I should know. Go in.
Official prediction. Who cares?
Official prediction. Okay. Who cares? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, screw it. Leave it at that. Who cares?
We'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it live, Derek. We'll do it live. I'll tweet it out 5 minutes before the game.
Right, so the Guildford game Wednesday, I think we need to see a response from the game last week. I think we've got to go in there and do something this week. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going to go 4-3. I think we'll just get it online late on. Again, Saturday, we're playing the same team again, and we've got to get a win at home because we haven't won at home all season yet, and the fans are starting to get rowdy in the arena. So I think we're going to ask 4 to win at home. And then Sunday in Coventry, I'm say 3-2 again to us. But that's always a tough place to go, and they look a decent team this year again. So it's going to be a tough weekend, I think.
Sorry, David, what about your prediction for Sunday? Sorry, I forgot for Sunday.
I'm going to say, yeah, that Coventry team does look good, doesn't it? It's hard to look past them. It's hard to look past Kevin Moore. I think he's a really good coach. I was sad when he left. I mean, for his career, it's great. It was quite sad when he left, but I would hope and I would think that's a game after pre-season, and we gave them the kind of beating that we did. 3-2 to us.
3-2. Okay. Chris? Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Agree about Wednesday. I think it's going to be a tough battle. I've put 3-2 to us against Guildford, but I do think my gut says I think there's more goals in it. There always seems to be a goal frenzy between us and Guildford, but I'm sticking to 3-2 Nottingham in Guildford. Mm-hmm. And completely agree on the basis of it's our home. We need a win. We can't go 3 games on the bounce, losing our home fixture. And I'm saying 5-3 for that one. Goalfest. Sunday, and I'm going to be the first to do it. I'm going to vote tactically. I think we're going to get that shock factor that we got going down to Guildford last time. I think playing in another difficult barn to play in on Sunday, I think. And we've got that pre-season. We've played them. We won, but we didn't win playing particularly well, which says a lot about both sides, I think. But I think they've kind of come into this season a bit faster than we have. I think they'll just be a bit hungry for it, especially after the results last season.
Group as well, because they're obviously third now. So if we get the win on Saturday, then they know they're going to need points against us.
I'm saying 4-2 Coventry on that one, and it's based on that shock factor that we're getting when we go to rinks for the first time.
4-2, sorry.
4-2 Coventry.
4-2 Coventry. Okay. Right, and then it's my ones. I am going to go Wednesday, 4-3 overtime. Saturday, again, I really think that we need to put on a show, again, for the same reasons as everyone else. I'm putting 6-1. So it's an ambitious one. Very ambitious, but I thought they need to put that show on because we won 6. We scored 6 against them in the pre-season, and I think they're going to try and match it again today, or not today, on Saturday. And then Sunday, Chris, you kind of took took my thunder there because I was about to go. I'm going to be the first one to, unfortunately, because I was going to say 3-2. Because we're just not gelling yet. I think, and we'll come off Saturday and it's a busy week, and we'll come off Saturday putting a lot of effort into winning that home game, and I think Sunday the guys might just be too shot to carry on the energy levels. So I think we're going to get a hit on Sunday.
And that's my feeling as well. I feel we've been struggling with our conditioning to play back-to-back games. And Coventry, I don't think they play 3 games this week. I think they're just playing the 2. I'm not entirely sure. But I do think that we're going to see that conditioning kind of come into us and the game just sort of go away from us towards the end. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping we're wrong.
Saturday, so they could be tired because that's always hard place to go.
Though they're playing Sheffield on Saturday, aren't they? So yeah.
The wins. But so about to say they might also be tired. It depends how to say. Sheffield games are always tough anyway. They always like knock you out. So I mean, I hope we win because I'm going, but that's just personal preference.
Okay then. So there's game predictions. Now I've put player cast. I don't know if anyone has any real mentions of a play that they did was like, holy damn, that needs to be talked about. If anyone can think of them, it sounds really bad.
Marcinew's goal in Manchester.
Yeah,
it was the game-winning goal. Ultimately, it was a goal that we just needed to grab, and he just bounced on it. I think it took a rebound off the backboards and came out on the other side. And he was just that he had that killer instinct to dive on it, and that's something that we don't have in a lot of places, and it's something very reminiscent of Sam Hare last season. And I with Marcinew looking at him, I think, as far as the player goes, I think we have replaced the points of Hare with Marcinew. I think he'll be very consistently up there scoring goals. Obviously, Hare had the whole captaincy element that just, what can you do about that? But you can't replace both in one player. But I do think we've got that goal scorer that we did have in Hare.
Yeah, I like that because he's not because we said about this before how they're passing and passing and passing and passing. But and a lot of players that we've got right now, if they see an opportunity to shoot, 7 out of 10 times they're going to pass it, and they might then pass it, and they might then shoot or pass it. But I think with Marcinew, he's just going to shoot. I think he's going to take that and go, let's not waste time here, guys. I can make this shot. I'm going to take the shot. And hopefully that then kind of, we were then talking about how at the start where it's kind of a virus where one person makes a mistake and it goes around to the other players. Hopefully he starts just taking shots and getting more points on under his tariff, and then other guys start going, wait, if he's being selfish, then I'm going to start kind of being selfish when it matters. And then goals start coming in. So I'm hoping that kind of trickles down. Because I think he is a good replacement for Hare.
Christoph, you were talking about your guy. You know, you do love talking about Marcinew, especially because he's your guy. So I'm gonna talk about Brian Lamos, his first goal against Manchester. That was just fantastic. I wasn't watching at the time, but I watched the replay, and he just called for tripping, goes off, comes back on, gets the puck, cuts across into the slot, bangs it in. Phenomenal goal. Absolutely phenomenal.
And I didn't see who managed to get a little bit of a screen on that, but there was was it Hembrandt? I think it was Hembrandt managed to get a screen.
Might have been.
And then Lemos just pops it over the shoulder. Lemos.
Okay. Yeah, but no, I agree with you.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think Brian in that Manchester game was my man of the match. He might have been man of the match. I don't know. I don't know who won man of the match.
I'm not too sure on that one either. But no, I agree. Is there any others, or do we move on to the next slot that we're talking about?
This isn't the player of the cast, is it? This is player of just certain plays.
This is just certain plays. Yeah. I was about to move on to player of the cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So player of the cast.
I'm going to have to say my boy Marcinew. Over the weekend, I don't think there's many I mean, obviously there's other arguments, but just that consistency in front of net. He was very dangerous against Sheffield. You could tell he was getting him nervous. They were marking him pretty well, but he had quite a few chances, and the goal's going to start rattling in from him. He scored in both games, and low-scoring games for us. We scored 2 in an empty net, and then we scored 1 on the next game. You know, he's really, really racking in for us a very difficult time for the Panthers. So yeah, definitely shouting up for him. But my honourable mention for this weekend has been Noel. I think he's really coming into his own now. We're seeing that defense. He's not just a shot. We're seeing that defensive. That initial, when I think Steelers got a breakaway quite early on in the game, and his ability to get back and break up that play was, that's exactly what I want to see from that guy. He's got the mobility. He's got the hard shot. Positioning that comes with the defensive systems grow as the season goes on. But yeah, he's my honourable mention.
Anyone else? Who's next? If not, I'll go. Mine is it's a weird one. Carr, because he let 1 goal in, and I'm going to say it was the fog that hadn't started, but I'm going to say it was the fog. And then nothing went past him. Nothing went past him, and he just found a zone. So, Carr, yeah, he showed that he could be.
That goal, you can't put a lot of that on him. It's taken a funny bounce back off the boards, back in front, and then their player just manages to slot it in. He's just kind of got to commit to a position. If he brings his leg further across, he's going to open up the 5-hole. You can't really blame Carr for that 1 goal. And then he just, absolutely nailed in for the rest of the game. Quite agree with you.
I would go with, for me, Lemos. I think he plays with a lot of intensity. What? No, just because we got good play, just because we I'm gonna defend us, Christoph. Just because we got good spins of the wheel this week doesn't mean we can't wax lyrical about how good our favorite player of the week is.
Hey. I was just laughing because I think you got Zak's.
Did I?
Yeah.
But I just love it. Genuinely love his intensity. Love the intensity he plays with when he's out there. I think he's great in the face-off dot. Good goal scorer. He's just a really good player for us. Really good player. Not much else to say.
Right, so I'm going to cover 2 players you already said. Martin with his 2 goals a weekend, and I thought sadly he was by far the best player. Like his work rate was way above any other player on Saturday, in my opinion. Like he just always seems to be there when he's on the ice. And Lemos, and this time by Lemos, he was the only player on Saturday to have a positive plus minus. Plus.
Wow.
And he got a goal assist over the weekend, so very solid weekend for Lemos.
No, yeah, I think we're all kind of in agreement with the picks there.
Yep.
I don't think...
And I do agree with Noel as well. Noel was fantastic, especially that first period, just buzzing around the defense. The amount of times he was just in passing lanes, stopping kind of the Steelers getting behind us was phenomenal. And he's got a bullet.
Yeah, his shot's insane. It is insane. Okay, then. So we next then have worst ref of the week.
Are we decide? Did we say we're going to decide like with the player?
Within the cast.
So I think we've had 2 votes for Martineau, haven't we? Are we saying my boy Martineau?
I think it might be,
yeah.
I think it
Shut up, Christoph. Shut up. Oh my god. Oh my god.
But just as a special mention, we forgot last week, didn't we? We all made our mentions, but we didn't say who was our player of the weekend. But I think did we agree Pearson?
Yeah, it was Pearson.
Yeah.
The guy.
I think Martineau this weekend is the right decision.
Yeah, definitely is. It definitely is. He's replaced Sam. He's that forefront of the team now, who hopefully, like I said, it will trickle down. And then last week was Pearson, the guy who I looked on Facebook. I think last night.
Don't do it.
No, Yeah, I don't understand what's happening on there.
No. All I know is I'm not on those forms of social media, and I think he's fantastic. I think if you're on those forms of social media, a lot of people have got varied opinions about him, but I'm judging him on his hockey, and I'm liking what I see.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
The only people on Facebook are 40-year-old nanas. Like, shut up. No one gives you a crap about your opinion on Facebook. I guarantee you, right? The Panthers don't even check the Facebook.
No, of course
Right?
not.
They don't even look. They check Instagram, they check Twitter, they check TikTok. Like, get a grip of yourselves.
I just want to apologise to our 40-year-old Nana demographic. This opinion isn't shared by all of us.
I was then about to say, and our views have been cut in half now. Third episode, we get 3 views.
I'm not wrong, though. No one said I was wrong.
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's yeah, a lot of people have got a lot of opinions about him. I'm not interested in the opinions that aren't about his game.
Yeah, me neither, really. Unless he says something really vile and offensive, which I don't think he even has at this point, despite some people's overreactions to things he might have said. Like, yeah, I don't think people want him to be more divisive than he is, and I just don't think he is that divisive. And yeah, people love something to chat rubbish about.
And if he's that agitating on the ice, that's another benefit.
Yeah.
True.
Get a chirping going. Okay then. So the next one is stick takes, because I've used my word.
I'll use mine. Shit takes.
There we go. And worst ref of the week. I'll combine these two because
I had one to bring that I said I'd save for this point. We've played 4 games. We've lost 3 games. All 3 of those games are teams that we beat to win the playoffs. Is there a little bit of an element there, a bit of revenge bias? A lot of those teams have kept a core. Guildford's had a bit of a rearrange, but it's the same coach. Have they really put an emphasis on beating that last team that beat them last season? If you get what I mean, that's kind of taken us by surprise. I'm quite proud of that one.
I like it. I like it a lot. Did I technically just do my shit take before with Chase Pearson one? I think that would be just mine. Edit this, cut the bit before and just put it after he said shit takes, and we're great.
Copy paste.
We've already
copy and paste. Yeah.
Zach's already got a lot of work to do because we're running over on time.
I know. I kind of got in a bit of passionate mode there, and I've just lost it all now. I'm like us in a third. I'm like the Panthers in the third period now. I'm crashing.
Steeler game hangover. That's what it is.
My stick take is, I mean, it was just the condition of the ice at Manchester. It wasn't fun to try and watch. It wasn't. I could surely admit, or I think it wasn't fun to play on. But like I think you mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned on the pod or before we started recording, that they're getting a new stadium. So hopefully that'll come along. And is it Manchester who has the deal with Prem Sport?
No, Guildford. It's not Guildford. It's another G.
Glasgow.
Okay. I thought it was them. Okay. So yeah, for those who don't know, Glasgow has a deal with the Sky Sports, isn't it? Where they
Premier Sports.
Premier Sports. I literally just said Prem as well. Where their games get televised. So hopefully this spreads, and it's not just them, and it actually goes across the league, across the board, and we all get to watch TV or hockey on TV, and not on the streams or a dodgy website that I definitely don't do.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
we often say heaven forbid the league try anything new, but when I first started watching, you couldn't watch online, you couldn't watch on TV. There was nothing. It was you're at the game or nothing. So it does happen. It takes some time for them to get used to new ideas, but it's a good one, and I hope it catches.
Definitely.
It was on TV a few years ago, wasn't it? Just after COVID, and there could be on TV, but it was like very select matches, and it was like always like midweek, and it was always like a random like game. It was like Coventry versus Dundee or something. Because obviously the teams obviously want the money for the big games, which I think is the issue. Because obviously when Panthers play Steelers, like we must rake it in on webcasts. Where if you play like 5, probably people on is intent for us to pay 16 quid for it.
Yeah.
So it just always seems to be like the dodgy midweek games, which no one would have normally watched if it wasn't on TV, sort of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something that not a lot of us really not. I don't know if anyone really speaks about it, but the prices of everything. Yeah, it's expensive, but to keep the ice going is really expensive. To keep the arena and ice actually being there. So I'm not trying to defend their extortionate prices and not wanting to do a monthly subscription, but no, it's an expensive sport for UK to have. But hopefully, television makes it better because the more fans, the more money they make, they can then lower the prices, yada yada yada, and then football is no longer the main sport in England. That will never happen. Football will always be in charge. Okay then. So that we've got Q&A, which for everyone who's listening, don't be afraid to ask questions because we want questions. We want to ask them. It could be about us. It could be about the game. It could be about if we've got any pets. It could be whatever. Just ask questions. Get involved. We'd like to speak to the people who are listening, however few or many there are. And if life fall forward, yeah, we don't need to do that. Q&A, there wasn't anything. Fantasy player pick of the week. Now, I made a boo-boo, and I think you may have seen it in the podcast chat. So we did this off-stream, or off-recording. We picked our names out and everything. And then I posted it on Instagram straight away without us actually talking about it. And then I deleted it straight away, after 5 minutes, because I was like, what have I just done?
That wasn't...
Because Christoph was talking shit.
I was messing
dropped
around.
3 now.
It was. I think I assigned players to everyone. I think someone got Tetlow, someone got Harris.
I wasn't mad about Finley. I'd have taken Finley.
And I kept Marson you somehow.
Lucky. Wonder how that happened, eh? Can we ban him from talking about Marson?
I've got a song about him. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
It's Marson you do.
Beautiful. You're a lyricist. How do you come up with these things?
Fits perfectly, and then rinse and repeat.
And it was funny to see. I didn't find it.
Wait, was it? Was it not?
Shall I actually spin the wheel then, so we can actually get off place?
Yeah.
Let's spin that wheel.
Right, so Doug's first. You that put on here.
If you say the same.
Tetlow. He's not Tetlow.
He's got Tetlow.
Okay.
Don't tell me his predictions are coming right.
Do you know what? He's come close. He has. He's had the bias on the blue line at the moment is for him and Hildeman to shoot in. That Marson goal came off of the backboards. It was fired by someone else. Must have got a touch to it because it was Tetlow, Hildeman, backboards to Marson. But someone I can't remember who the other assist on that was, but Tetlow was part of that play. I think he's going to have quite a good season.
Yeah.
He always plays well in Manchester, though. He's built for it.
Yeah, and he's a wild card. He is a wild card, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with Tetlow. All right. Next one.
Right. I've gone Chase again because I've been away talking.
Chase. Yeah.
Solid. I think once he's come close in every game we've had. I think he's that kind of guy that once he gets that goal in, I think he's going to have a bit of he's going to run with it.
I was saying that all weekends are fair. As soon as he gets that one goal, I think he'll get 4 or 5 that weekend. He just seems to be so close to getting a goal. He's just not there yet, if you know what I mean. But I mean, he's putting up assists every week, so you can't really complain. So David, I'm spinning now. Spencer, which is an interesting one. Quite a few dim in this week.
I like it. Dude, he's constantly taking shots from the blue line. He's had a couple of goals already. I think that's a great shot. I love Matt Spencer. I think he was that most underrated player last week, wasn't
he? He's just that solid D man. I think he's up there with the best in the league. And I think if you're playing the fantasy league based on plus minus, I don't think there's anyone who's going to be as consistent as Spencer. Or maybe Garrett's a shout for that.
Maybe. Just want no penalties. No penalties, Matt, this week, please.
Yeah.
And Christoph has Kelso as Johnny Kelso.
Penalties your way.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not gonna expect him to score. That's not his game. He can put them up, but he's a solid defensive player, plus minus, always looks pretty good. That fourth line's probably, I mean, not as far as the complete game. They're a blocking line, but I think our fourth line's been our most consistent line since the start of the season. So yeah, happy with Kelsall.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get any fights or arguments, could have a couple pens your way there. But yeah, I think that's.
Shall I say who won last week?
Oh yeah.
Was it Marcinu?
Yeah, Marcinu in 9.
So who was that? Sorry, I don't know if I know that player. We talked about that player yet.
Somebody called Marcinu. Yeah.
Oh, I hope he works out.
But it would have been a tie if he didn't take 2 penalties on Friday, which is quite annoying for David.
Yeah, that did let me down.
And obviously, I chased last week who gave me 3 points or 2 points, and then Doug had Harris, who got 1, like most weeks.
So, I'm quite close to being first.
What, first last?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one. Cheers, Harris. Love to see you.
This is a ton of hat this week. You sorted.
I'll have words with him next week. You watch now. He'll bang them in. He'll get all the points this weekend.
No, we'll get a Gordie Howe and you'll get no points at all.
Come on, Tetlow.
I put him per penalty minute, so he had a fight. He was fine. Just to annoy you.
Right, okay then. So that's the third episode. Has anyone else got anything to say?
I don't think we covered the strange rule of the week.
Oh yeah,
we had a good one.
Yeah, bring it up. Yeah, because it is a very good one to bring up. It's the Hembrandt, wasn't it? Being
Fossier. I actually thought it was Hembrandt as well, but it was Fossier.
Yeah, I didn't do my kind of guess to what happened because I really didn't have a clue. So I'll let you experienced ones talk about this rule.
Very, very uncommon one, and it confused. I don't think you were the only one confused. There was on social media, everyone was asking what happened, but Fossier had got a breakaway on an empty net essentially, and then there was an infraction, and the goal wasn't put. The puck wasn't put in the net, but the goal was awarded. Reason for that was, if you watch the replay, you can see just before what makes Fossier lose the shot is that his stick slashed and broken, just prior to him being shoved into the net. And essentially, if you're calling a penalty shot on an empty net, it's just awarded as a goal.
Okay, so it wouldn't be able to. Yeah, no, gotcha.
Yeah, because if you were to say it's a penalty shot, put your goalie back in, then why wouldn't people do that? Just take players out if they're 1-on-1 with an empty net. So it's to alleviate that.
Okay. It's not a rule it's not a rule that we're going to see often, I don't think. So it was a prime time.
I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah, so that's what that rule is, everybody.
And shout out in that arena, in that foggy circumstance, for the referees to actually notice that and call it bang on straight away. Fooled most of the fans. Most of the fans didn't know it had happened, but the refs were straight on it.
Yeah, and kind of ironic that we were then saying that they were not trained. But again, that then goes on about the inconsistency and blah, blah, blah. We're on another tangent. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's the explanation of that rule. I think that's everything now. Okay, so Zach, any more time? So that'll be the wrap of this episode of the Eyes of the Panthers. I'd like to say thanks to Zach, David, and Chris for the crack, and cheers for you lot tuning in and just giving it a listen. Hit the follow button, Share it with your mates. Share it with your nan. Share it with your mum. I don't care. Share it with everybody. And we'll be back next time. And we will be back with more goals, more drama, and some Panthers mayhem. Till then, keep the black and gold flags flying high.
Moss and you do.